Hello and welcome to Shooting the Shit with Vicki. It's Monday. I was gonna say July, January 19th, 2026. And I'm here, albeit a tad compromised. I'm in my slippers today, and maybe I will sit down. I really wanted to do it in the living room, sitting on the couch, but I hated the way the lighting was in the living room when I was sitting. So I'm not, when I was standing it was okay, but I'm back in the kitchen and I have a flat thing going on there. I can't really see it till I go live. Now I got this thing, and I don't know what kind of hair this is. Hi Esther, how are you? We'll see how long I last. I should do a shortish show and give myself a break. We'll see if I do. I thought, I'll just do like a 15-minute show. When have I done a 15-minute show? I start yakking and it's all over. So we'll see what's what. Boy, it has been a beginning of the year, huh? It's been a week. It's been a few days. It's been a time in the world and for me and in this country and with so many people that I know. And once I get on live, I can see what I look like and it makes me crazy. But I'm gonna look at you guys. Hi Gina, hi Pia. So as you guys know, I had surgery. I have like a hair in front of my eyes. I had surgery on Thursday, and boy, there's a lot to tell about that experience. It was crazy. The surgery itself, I guess, was fine, but the stuff leading up to it and the stuff after it was insane. It started with them not telling me anything. And the day before the surgery, literally the day before the surgery, they sent me this checklist of things that I should have stopped taking 2 weeks before, 14 days before surgery, and they send it to me. I literally have a hair in front of my face and I can't see it. Where is it? I started chopping my bangs earlier and obviously I missed something. But anyway, they sent me this checklist, and boy, my hair is platinum now, but it's like so white that, does it look gray? Do I look gray? I don't want to look gray. It's supposed to be platinum blonde. I'm not sure what this is. In any case, it looks very white hair. Yeah, on this checklist was, that the usual that you would expect, no Motrin for 7 to 10 days, no baby aspirin, no. So I had stopped that stuff. But it turns out, you're not supposed to take really most supplements. This is going to drive me crazy. There is literally a hair right in front of my face that I can't seem to get rid of. You can't take supplements for the most part before surgery for 2 weeks. And I kind of stopped them in time, but the list, of things that you're not supposed to take was exorbitant. And lucky, thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Pia. So the list of things that you can't take was so long, and I take a number of them. And I luckily had stopped, them in time, but that was purely by luck. Then they were supposed to send me a kit from the hospital prior to surgery with this antibacterial soap you're supposed to wash with the night before and the day of. Didn't send it. Well, just go to the store and get some Dial soap. This is the night before surgery, and it just so happens that Snuffy had an extra kit from his surgeries, so I had the real stuff I was supposed to use from the hospital. But it's like, what the fuck? Then the nurse was supposed to call and go over things with me. Thank you, Andrew. And she waited until, I don't know, like 4 o'clock the night before my surgery. Then one girl was telling me that I should be there at 8 o'clock downstairs in the garden level. Someone else was telling me I didn't need to be there till 8:30, and it was going to be upstairs. And this went on 30 emails and phone calls the day before the surgery. And I'm like, you guys, hi, Monty, this is really stressful. As if surgery isn't going to be stressful enough. Doing this with you guys right before I'm coming in, thank you, Andrew, is really not helping me at all. And they just couldn't get it right. And I guess finally, I don't know, by the end of the day, by 5 or 6 o'clock, I knew where I was supposed to go and what time. And then, you know, they've changed the rules. Oh, this is really driving me crazy. They changed the rules so that now, thanks, Gina. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. I don't feel particularly beautiful, but I appreciate it. I've been laying like a lox for the last 4 days. So anyway, you're allowed to have black coffee up to 2 hours before a procedure now, which before anesthesia, I was shocked. So I ended up having it like 5-6 hours before, but I was able to have some black coffee first thing in the morning. We got up at, I don't know what time it was. We were out of the house by 7. Anyway, we get there, and I had a lovely nurse in the pre-op room, and she said something about, and I had asked if I could take some Tylenol prior to going to the hospital the morning of, because I was going to have like a mammo before the surgery for them to place this rod. It's not a rod, but I forgot what they call it, but it's a skinny little thing. And mammos are not fun and can be painful. And the biopsy one was long, so that was really not fun. And I was maimed, and I checked with them when I got there and said, "Is this normal?" No. What happened to me during my biopsy was not normal. But anyway, she said, "Oh, I was going to give you some Tylenol." I said, "Oh, I took Tylenol." And she said something about giving me something else, and I said, "Oh, I'm sober. No narcotics for me." "Oh, okay." And she writes it down. And then I was supposed to have the first part at 10 o'clock. We get there at 8, and the woman behind the counter said, "Oh, you didn't need to be here this early." And I'm like, oh my God, this is what, so we're down there, and my thing was supposed to be at 10 a.m., the mammo part, and it's now like 10:15 and they haven't called me down. Now it's like 10:30 when they finally come and get me. And it turns out I get down there and they're calling this one and that one. And I'm like, I still don't get in there till 10:45. And they said, "Oh, we were waiting for them to send you down. And they were waiting for them to call me." And they were both mad at the other one for not doing their part. And here I am just in the middle of this going, what the fuck? So they do the first part, and it's much easier than the biopsy was, putting the thing, and they were very nice. And it was much quicker and wasn't traumatic. It was fine. And I go back up to pre-op, and the anesthesiologist is supposed to come, and the surgery is supposed to be at noon. And we're waiting on the anesthesiologist, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. And finally, the surgeon comes in at like 11:30. And he said, "Well, ready to go," and ba-da-da-da-da. And I'm asking him a few questions, and his fellow had come in before, and I was asking him some questions. And I said to the surgeon, whatever atypical cells are in there, please get them all out, because I don't want you having to go back in there at any point to get out more. But please leave me pretty. And he laughed. Fine, we're good. And finally, the anesthesiologist comes in, and he's kind of like he had absolutely no sense of humor. He had an Apple Watch, And he had like this turquoise fun band. And I said, oh, that's really cool. He said, don't talk. I can't get a good reading on you if you're talking. And it's like, wow, you're talking to a patient who's about to have surgery, and that's the way you, and he was like so serious, and like he never smiled, and he was like a handsome guy, but he had no personality, no bedside manner. And I said, well, what are you going to give me, to put me out? And he said, well, propofol. And I said, oh, that's fabulous, because that's a really easy re-entry back into the world. And he said, huh. Then he finally laughed, and he said, oh, well, there's a cocktail, and there's also, this, and this, and I never heard of this, and this. And I said, well, I'm sober, so, and he went, huh, whatever that meant. And okay, so they finally, and because the surgeon was ready at 11:30, I figured we're going to go, oh, there's a delay, and there's this, and there's someone before you, and we're getting pushed back, and what? And so now it ended up not bad. By like 12:15, 12:20, they're wheeling me into surgery, and the anesthesiologist and this woman with him, I didn't see the surgeon in there, this woman helping the anesthesiologist, and then the nurse, and they're readying me, and there's absolutely no bedside manner. There's nothing nice going on. People are just doing their jobs. And I thought, wow, these people leave a lot to be desired, but okay, they're doing their jobs. And he had told me he was going to put this thing over, and I was going to, but he was saying, okay, breathe really deep. And he kept like, I've never gone to sleep and had them make me work so hard. He was like kind of yelling at me, not yelling, but kind of very strongly telling me to breathe harder, breathe in harder. And I've never had to breathe in harder when they're putting me down. Usually they say count backwards from 100, and I'm asleep by 98. So I didn't know what all this was about. And it was like a lot. And I wake up, and of course, as we are, I'm in the recovery room now. And I just feel awful. And I can't really move, and my head is heavy, and I'm queasy, and I'm like, and Snuffy's there, and he said that he spoke to the surgeon, hey Herman, and he couldn't quite remember what the surgeon said other than that it went, and I didn't remember if he said really well or it went well. And then later I said, what did he say? And he said, well, I don't know if it was well or really well. And then he said, there were no surprises. I said, oh, did the surgeon tell you that? And he said, no, I think the nurse told me that. And, Snuffy wasn't really clear on who said what. And I was like, well, I hope the surgeon comes in to talk to me. He did not. No. And finally, I'm not feeling better. I'm not waking up. Normally after propofol, right? Like 5 minutes after they stop it, you're up, I'm ready to go to breakfast, I'm okay. No, I was like feeling awful. And I must have been out of surgery since 1:30. And finally by like 3:30, I found out that he gave me Dilaudid. And I was like, wait a minute, I said I was sober and I didn't want narcotics. And not listened to. And I was so nauseous. So she gave me something for nausea, did not work. And then she said, okay, now you can go. And this is like at 5:15. I've been there since 8 o'clock in the morning. And I've been out of surgery for 4.5 hours, a long time. And no reason I should have been, Snuffy after his brain surgery didn't need to be in the recovery room that long. It was like a crazy amount of time. And we get in the car, and I'm telling you, I had to like hold on to not get sick in the car. I was so sick to my stomach, and she had just given me the anti-nausea stuff, which everybody says works like a charm. It did not work like a charm. Hi, Kat. Hi, Herman. Hi. Who else joined us? Jan. And it was just awful. And we got in the door, and as soon as we got in the door, I ran to the bathroom and was sick. And then I was just laying around feeling awful that night, and the next day just awful on Friday. And on Saturday we actually left the house to go get a manicure, and I was so exhausted when I came back. It was like, wow, I had climbed Mount McKinley, and the surgeon had warned me that he said, you can go back to doing things like as soon as you feel ready for it. And I said, well, when can I get on the vibration plate, the elliptical? And they said, well, as soon as you feel up to it. And he had said, you'll probably feel the effects of the anesthesia for a couple of days. Well, today is Monday. My surgery was Thursday, and I am still, I thought I was 100% this morning. No, I did a workshop and went to a meeting, and by 1 o'clock, I was like done for, wiped out. I thought, how am I going to do this show? And I've been kind of, Snuffy and I had lunch, and I kind of just sat on the couch. I woke up at, I don't know, 4 in the morning last night, and I'm watching, what's the one with Kristen Bell? Nothing, oh God, I can't remember, with the rabbi. Well, anyway, I started watching that at 4 or 5 in the morning, and I have not had really good sleep, which is not wonderful. A shower felt incredible. The first night, I wasn't allowed to shower. The next day I decided, you know, I have like these steri strips on, and I thought, so anyway, when I finally showered on Saturday, nobody wants this, thank you. I felt phenomenal. But not as good as I felt today when I showered. It was like, oh yes, okay, yay. But I crashed, and I'm not exactly sure when I'm gonna get back to working out. I kind of would like to get on the vibration plate tonight. I usually do it set at 41, the speed. I thought, what if I do it on 2? And instead of 30 minutes, I only do 15 minutes, but I think I'm actually gonna give myself one more day before I start to do that. But it has been, wow. It's been way more than I was expecting because of the Dilaudid. And it wasn't the surgery, really wasn't having pain. I took I was taking Tylenol and Advil, cycling them the very first night, but I really didn't need anything the next day. I really kind of stopped. Sleeping on my back is very challenging, not really comfortable. And I'm still doing that, and I hope that's not going to be for too much longer. I see the surgeon again on Friday. He still has not called me, but what's crazy, okay, so I have an Apple Watch, and for those of you who are Apple Watch people, there's, you know, a health setting on there, or Apple Health, maybe it's not even from the watch, and my Apple Health, they uploaded all the files. Oh, thank you, Esther. That's so lovely. Thank you, Esther. Hi, Laura. My Apple Watch gave me the anesthesiologist's report, the surgeon's report. I got all of it on Sunday, I think it was, Saturday night or Sunday morning. That's the most information I'd gotten, was it came on my Apple Watch. And so it turned out that they said, oh, she processed the anesthesia very well, post anesthesia report, she did very well. I did. You didn't check on me. And then, do you feel any results from the vibration plate? Well, the vibration plate is really good for, you know, I'm usually not good with words. I have no words now. Hi, Tony. For drainage, lymphatic draining. It's really good for lymphatic drainage. And I do believe that the vibration plate in combination with the elliptical and doing some weights, yes, I think it all works together in a good way. I hope you're much better. You look well. And Kristen Bell, Adam Brody, yes, nobody wants this, exactly. So anyway, where was I going? Yeah, I'm hoping to do a little bit, maybe tonight, but tomorrow for sure. I'm going to get back to doing some stuff. But wow, it has just been, and I was supposed to have my yearly physical with my internist tomorrow, and I didn't go last year. because they, you know that test where they say, okay, we're going to tell you 5 things and we'll ask you when you leave. And they give me the 5 things and I always forget the first one or the second one. And I didn't want to go last year. I was like, I don't want them to tell me I'm having a memory issue. So this hair is driving me crazy. So I didn't go last year. I totally skipped it. So I'm really overdue, and plus my cholesterol's never good, and he's gonna yell at me because I haven't lost the weight, and so I was supposed to go tomorrow, and I canceled it. I was like, I am not up for the brain test and getting poked and prodded and all of that and have the discussion. My internist is kind of mean. He's a really tough character, and he's like this skinny old guy, and he does Sunfair, we do Sunfair, and he was telling me how he and his wife get 3 days worth of food and make it last all week. Yeah, because they're skinny little things. But Snuffy and I, we get the Sunfair and then we cheat. But anyway, we're doing Kushi Gourmet these days, and we're doing a Mediterranean diet. I think I shared that with you guys. So it's fish every day. It's seafood twice a day, and with vegetables. And there's a lot of there's olive oil, and there's some grains. Today we had some quinoa. But anyway, we were really bad after the surgery. I was chicken soup and a quesadilla for a couple of days, and then Snuffy wanted hot chicken right after surgery, and I didn't do that. I did chicken soup. But anyway, I still have a lot. I have 15, 20 pounds to lose. GLP-1, I don't know. After having this nausea experience with the Dilaudid, there's no way. Nausea is not for me. I will find another way. Just have to stop cheating on the diet. You're about to do the test for GLP-1. And I was pre-diabetic 2 years ago, and but that was an unusually high cholesterol. Mine's high anyway. I will not do the statins. I'm very resistant. I did have the calcium test, and it turned out, my arteries were clear. I had a 0.05 in one artery, or a 0.02, and the others were clear. So thanks, Herman. Boy, I wish I felt great. I feel okay right now. Talking to you guys is always good medicine for me, except for this one hair that is right in front of my vision, which is making me crazy. But I felt really crap about an hour ago, or half hour ago, and then getting ready to talk to you guys, and now talking to you has woken me up. I'm drinking a little iced green tea because Christy Funk said green tea. If we all drink 3 cups of green tea a day, get rid of issues. So that's the deal. I'm on the green tea belief. I had pancreas you had what? Pancreas problems from Manjaro. Oh, wow. Oh, you have to do a memory test. Oh, God. I'm so bad at those. As you can tell, I can't remember anything. But that's not true. I can remember the details of things like unbelievable, but names. And they say Ashkenazi Jews, this is really annoying me. Ashkenazi Jews have, I think it's in my eye, Ashkenazi Jews have issues remembering names. That's like a thing. Let my people go. So yes, green tea, very good, very important. And Christy Funk says, for women especially, if you're at stage 0, if you're benign, you won't get anything. If you're stage 1, you go to stage 0. If you're stage 2, you go to stage 1. Stage 3, too late, doesn't help. But what could it hurt? In any case, so I was benign and not precancerous even, but it turns out I found out why they had to go in and take out the atypical cells, because I had calcification, and the calcification, hi Snuffy, can block their view. They can't see through it. So if anything is going on, what do you mean you're not giving me? Oh, you don't have stars? Other people have stars, If you're on your computer, try your phone. If you're on your phone, try your computer. Like, you need to give me stars. There, see, Andrew just gave me stars. Thank you, Andrew. Warm lemon water with honey or grade A maple syrup is your go-to. That's a wonderful thing, but according to Christy Funk, if you want to get rid of bad cells, green tea. So anyway, it turns out that I saw this report, and in 2014, I had calcifications. So it really didn't change. But then I was afraid, oh my God, what if they go in there and underneath those calcifications, there's something that they couldn't see. But from what I understand, that was not the case. Although they've sent the things to pathology, the samples. Thank you, Jojo. And I won't know for like 9 or 10 days from the time of the surgery. So next Monday, I guess, what the results of that were. And I said to the surgeon and the fellow, well, why don't they treat it like a Mohs surgery? And as you take the samples, why don't you send them to the lab? And if you need to go wider out, you go wider out. And they said they can't do that because, thank you, Pia, because they take hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of slices, tiny, teeny, tiny, skinny little things. And it takes time to do that. So I said, well, crap, you know, how often do they have to go back in because they've missed something? And he said they really don't, because if there's some atypical cells left on the margin, they just leave them there and watch them. And I said, well, then why are they doing this now to me? Why aren't they just watching it? Because of the calcification, and they can't see underneath it in case anything develops. So that calcification's been there for a long time. And my gyno told me, you know, these things are really slow growing, you know, unless you have an aggressive bad thing, the C thing, you know, all this other stuff, benign stuff, very slow growing. And I don't have a family history, but then, you know, everybody tells you their horror stories. As soon as, I'll speak for myself, as soon as I'm going through anything, all of a sudden people come out of the woodwork and they're, oh yeah, I had that and now I got to, you know, now I've got the C and I got to do this and, you know, just, or I had 5 of those and oh my God, it's horrible. Laura, you missed the explanation. I'm sorry. I'm not going to say it all again, Laura, but you can rewind when we're done and you can hear what you're interested in hearing. So anyway, the surgery's behind. I'm waiting to have my post-op visit. So they put these steri strips on, and of course I took my first shower, and a steri strip is peeling away. And then I saw today that there's actually another one underneath it. It's not like the little skinny ones they put on for the biopsy when I got infected. They're a little bigger than that. And he wrote all over my boob. So at first I thought I had these blue bruises, long, thin, skinny ones, and I realized they were marker. And I saw him mark, but I thought he just marked here, but he marked a few times. So I've still got that going on. But, and then you have to wear a sports bra 24/7, as much as you can handle it, for at least a week. So that's awfully fun to sleep with too. But you know what? Better all of this than a problem. And I'm grateful that even with all of the crap that happened, even with the Dilaudid and not being listened to and all the confusion before, thank God we live in a world where this can happen. And I have a great surgeon, and I trust that he did a great job. And also, he was very kind, and instead of making an incision across me and maiming me, he did it around the thing. And no, I don't think I'll have any mark from this, but I still have a bump from where that bitch did the biopsy. And I don't know if that's ever going to go away. I'm going to ask him. He originally said he would get rid of it, but he went in a different place so as not to maim me. So I thought originally he was going to leave me like a hairline scar, but he didn't. Very kind. So I told him to leave me pretty. What else? So that's been like the big news around here. That's been sort of the big show. And yeah, I'm probably not going to talk quite so long today, although I think I've been yakking for about a half hour. I am an ovarian cancer survivor. Wow, Kat, amazing. 14 years, yay. Wow, I think extremely prevalent on your, breast cancer, extremely prevalent on your mom's side, and I don't have the gene. But oncologist said it doesn't matter with the family history, hence the biopsies. Well, I'm very glad that you are cancer-free, and yay, a thriver. Fantastic, Kat. And I pray and hope that it never comes to that for me, and I know that because it's not in my family history, that doesn't make it like it'll never happen. But I also believe that I wasn't helping myself. We were eating a lot of red meat on Sunfair the last couple of years, a lot of red meat. And just like red meat and a vegetable, that's what I was eating most of the time, like a lot. And also, crap, stuff, not good. You guys have been, we've been through a lot of, this has been, woo, the last 12 months have been very something, haven't they? And what's going on in the world? Like, I don't even have the energy to talk about the idiot. Do you believe that he said because Denmark, like it's up to them, didn't give him the Nobel Prize, he doesn't have to think about peace anymore? Oh my God, as if peace was ever something. Oh yeah, I guess he did. Can you imagine the trouble he's gonna start? And ICE, oh my God, ICE is just, it's just terrifying what is going on in this country, in this world. And he is such a huge part of the problem. Wow, I don't have the energy. If I start getting riled up about the idiot, things will not go well for me tonight. But more on that later. But praying for peace and for sanity and for compassion and for empathy and for good sense. Whew, because there's not a lot of that going on. So I had that gorgeous ring that Snuffy got me for Christmas, and he actually gave it to me a couple weeks before Christmas, and the stones were falling out, and so I haven't had my ring for weeks, and I was supposed to get it tomorrow, and I'm not getting it till the end of the week, and I really need it to cheer me up. I need the things to cheer myself up. External things, I guess it's internal things. I led a Women Who Write workshop today, and that was wonderful. And Jack McGee joined us, which was so fun, my old friend Jack. And those kind of things make me feel better. You mean what? Moron? Yeah, I mean the moron. So I've got to do more things that bring joy. More things that bring me joy. And move past this period, because it's been a heaviness. This all started with me the first week of November. So it's been 2.5 months of going through this process, and there were a bunch of mammograms and the biopsy and then this, and like, I'm done. I want to be done. I want it all to be in the rear view. I want to move on. I want to let it go. I want to go back to working out, and I really want this time to stick with it. I would go through periods of months of working out and then get lax for weeks because of this, because of that. And I don't want to do that anymore. When I was prior to for years, many years, I never missed a day of working out ever. I speed walked every day. I worked out every day. And I want to get back to that no matter what. I mean, I did it with snow and sleet in New York. I did it when I had a cold, or even I think when I had a fever. I never missed a day. And I really want to get back to no matter what. And I also want to get back to no matter what, not cheating on a diet. The week before my surgery, the week prior to last week, I did not cheat at all. We went on a 3-day juice cleanse, and then 2 days of Mediterranean. I didn't cheat on any of that. And I lost like 6 pounds, and I've gained half of them back, more than half of them back. craziness, total craziness. So that's not okay. I don't want to do that anymore. I really want to take good care of myself. And another decision I made is, I did morning pages for years and years and years. And now I kind of don't do pages. I don't even do a page. I do a little scribbling, right, every day. But now I want to go back to throwing up on the page first thing in the day and really clearing myself for the day ahead, as prescribed by Julia Cameron. And I want to get back to that daily practice because it's really, really helpful. And the GLP-1s, they scare me. We don't know the long-range effects of those things. There's a nausea. I don't want to shoot myself. If I could microdose the pill and if it would work and not make me nauseous, that seems like a good plan. But I'd rather do it like Herman is, through good healthy eating. But I am not going to put the time in that Herman does with prepping food. And he just makes his food gorgeous and he's prepping all the time and he's really got a gift. I'm lazy. I'm not going to do it. I need it easy. So we're doing Gushy Gourmet for now. It's too many calories, I know. They use, even though it's just seafood and vegetables, it's a lot of oil. Yeah, the oil is healthy, but olive oil, but no. Anyway, it's hard getting my steps in the cold weather. Up 10 pounds. That's what happens, right? It is hard. You're doing everything right. Oh, GC, thank you. I am not doing everything right, but I aspire to doing everything right. So you're prepping right now. What are you making tonight, Herman? We had 3 prawns and some broccoli and snow peas and a little spinach. That was our lunch with some quinoa. And our dinner is an Italian branzino with some tomatoes and branzino, and you're prepping right now, yeah, and some kind of vegetable in with our fish. That's our dinner tonight. And as long as I can stay away from the popcorn, I'll be okay. We're addicted to Skinny Pop. We watch TV and we have Skinny Pop. Okay, speaking of TV, so let's get to the viewing this week. Last night we watched, oh my God, what is it called? The Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Rip. We watched Rip, and I recommend it. It was nonstop kind of action and really good. Really good. Rip. Nice twists and turns and very enjoyable. And Matt and Ben together are just kind of wonderful. So recommend Rip. Because it's Martin Luther King Day. Oh, I saw you were prepping baby back ribs before. I saw that. Barbecue chicken and sausage, broccoli and a salad. Herman, do you deliver? Come on. You live in Encino. I want what you're having. That sounds way better than, we have not, also interesting, I was eating so much meat on Sunfare on their fat burn diet because I didn't like their fish dishes at all on Sunfare. The seafood from Kushi is really good. Sunfare, not good. And the vegetables had nothing on them, and that got really old after you eat them for months and months. Boring, horrible. No sauces, no nothing on the protein. That got really old. This stuff has much more taste because they do send little sauces and things made from olive oil, which is good. I forgot where I was going. But anyway, I realized I haven't had meat. I have not chosen meat in weeks. It's been weeks, which is really good for me to be off the red meat. Yeah, it's like the Mediterranean diet basically says once a month, twice a month, you can have red meat. And even chicken, they don't suggest having it more than once a week or something. It's all about fish and mostly vegetables. So, okay, so what other viewing? So Hijack is back on season 2. We went back and watched season 1, and I am so glad we did. I mean, we remembered the outcome, but we didn't remember the, who sends Cushy Gourmet, it's called. Kooshi. They're not cheap. They deliver. We get 2 meals a day, lunch and dinner, 5 days a week. We're probably going to do it for the next month. And it's 1,200 calories for the 2 meals, which is really too much for me. I'm going to ask him if he can take 100 calories off of mine per day, or maybe even 200. Go to 1,000. 1,000 calories a day would be better for me. My ankles are bad and wound up standing 6 hours in the ER because my PMD thought I might have had a blood clot in my... Ooh, I'm sorry, Laura. That's horrible. Okay, so Hijack. We went back and watched season 1, and I'm so glad we did. And it was all... It's one of the most exciting and thrilling shows I've ever seen. Iris... What's his last name? You tell me how to say it. I love him. It was wonderful. In fact, I want to go back and watch Luther. We started Luther and gave up on it really quickly, but he's just wonderful. We also started season 2 of The Pit. So there have been 2, and it's wonderful. As good as it was last year, enjoying it. I hate when we binged The Pit. We waited until it had been up for a long time and we watched the whole thing. And we did the same thing with Hijack when we watched it. Now we're doing the 2 shows, 1 episode at a time, season 2. It's torturous. What else have we seen? We did see Marty Supreme. I think I had already seen that when I spoke to you guys last. What other movies did we watch? I don't know. We need a new, so we finished Runaway on Netflix. We finished His and Hers on Netflix. Both worthy, not the best things I've ever seen in my life, but worthy. They're, I think, in the top 10 on Netflix still. We're looking for something. We tried last night The Abandons with Gillian Anderson. It's a Western. Snuffy had no patience for it. We watched about 15 minutes and he was done. I'm going to watch that in my spare time. Nobody Wants This I watch in the middle of the night when I can't sleep. And then, of course, on the elliptical, I watch Crossing. What crossing is it? Whatever crossing it is. Sullivan's Crossing, which is total trash, but I watch it anyway. It's like that one that took place in Vancouver, and another trashy that's probably coming back. But those are good, like chick watch things. We did not see The Mayor of Kingstown. Is that good? That's on my list. We need one to dig into that we can binge. So we were thinking of Mindhunter. I think and The Night Watcher. We started both of those and gave up on them. But maybe they're worth going back to. Luther, I think, would be worth going back to. I love Iris. So anyway, that's been the viewing for the last week. And what else? I think that's about it. Rufus is doing better. I'm really happy to say we've been giving Rufus this Rob Lowe, freeze-dried, really healthy food, not giving him kibble anymore. And he's getting glycosamine and other nutrients for his joints, and he's getting stuff for his teeth, and he's getting all kinds of healthy stuff. And he was really perky for the first time in a long time. He was really perky yesterday, and his old self, affectionate and fun and playful, and love seeing that with Rufus. And so, in fact, Snuffy, would you send out Rufus? Snuffy's at the end of his meeting, so I don't know if he's checking in. And usually I start so late. I was very little-ish today. So Rufus hasn't been out here yet, but I want you guys to see Rufus before... Rufus! Snuffy's not tuned in. He must be sharing or something. He's not tuned in. And, Rufus! Here he comes. I hear him. Here comes the boy. Come on. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up. Come on. Come on. I know. Oh, and he went over to where I've been the last few weeks. You're so smart, Rufus. Come on, hurry up. Come around. Come around. He's so smart. He went over where I was the last 3 weeks looking for you guys. Okay, come on. Hurry up,
You
everybody.
wouldn't move 10 minutes ago.
Everybody wants to see you. Look who's here. It's Rufus. Yay. Who's my good boy? Sit down. Sit. Good boy. Who's my good boy? I was telling everybody that you're doing so much better now, right? He's perky and happy and playful, and he's not limping, and he's doing so good, right? And tomorrow Rufus is going to have a bath. Andy's going to come and give Rufus a bath and give him new nails. Rufus gets manicures too. Everybody's sending you love, my boy. Everybody's sending you love. Yes, they are, and it's dinner time for Rufus. 6 o'clock is dinner time for Rufus. So anyway, this Wednesday, Eddie, oh God, you know, I'm blaming the Dilaudid. Eddie Bowens, who is a drummer, who was the first drummer in the Country Music Hall of Fame. He plays at the Grand Ole Opry all the time. And in fact, they did this tribute to Dolly Parton a couple of days ago. And they did this booklet with all of her music in it. And she did this whole page to Eddie with his picture. And this, she mentioned the musicians on it. And she mentioned him, the drummer, first. That's unusual. And so Eddie will be with us on Wednesday. Snuffy and I met him at the Grand Ole Opry when we were in Nashville, visiting David Santos and Wendy Moten, our good friends that I can't wait to see again. And Eddie is terrific. And I saw his plaque in the Country Music Hall of Fame. He's really something. And he's played on everything. So Eddie's going to be wonderful. And, a lot of love for Rufus. And if you guys have not seen, thank you for the stars, Andrew. If you guys have not seen last Wednesday's show with Jerry Douglas, please do that. He was amazing. And he told some incredible stories about Paul McCartney and about John Prine, and just incredible stories. And he also told us about getting sober, and he was a wonderful guest, just wonderful. And he played the dobro for us before he signed off, which was terrific. It was a great show. And that really, it was the night before my surgery, and I'm so glad that I didn't cancel it and that I went ahead and did it, because it really filled me up with so much joy. Talking to Jerry. It was wonderful, really fabulous. Okay, so I will see you Wednesday, Game Changers, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Here's to good health. Your good health, my good health, Rufus's good health, Snuffy's good health, everybody's good health. L'chaim, to life. I hope everybody has a good week. I hope the idiot calms the fuck down, keeps his mouth shut. I hope ice goes away and melts or something. And peace and love, as Ringo would say. Peace and love. And I'm so grateful to all of you for all of those beautiful messages and all the hearts and the likes and the loves and the comments, and I just appreciate you all so much. And you really, the prayers, I felt you guys. I have one last story for you guys. So my father passed away in 2011, 2 days after Samantha's birthday, February 22nd. And he was living in Vegas, and I went to Vegas for the last 5 days of his life, and I sat by his bedside. I slept by his bedside in hospice. He was unconscious. He never regained consciousness when I got there. And Gavin Rostel, I don't know Gavin. I have no way to get to him, but if you can get him to me, sure. Anyway, when I got back to Montrose, I was living in Montrose at the time, and I came home, and for the first 5 days a week, I heard this owl outside my window. Well, first, right when my father passed, there was all this weird stuff that happened with my friend Zoe. She was saying to me, you know, our loved ones find ways to give us signals, so really pay attention in the coming days, because your father will be with you. He will find a way to communicate with you. And, or sometimes they speak through people close to us because they know we're too upset to pay attention. And so sure enough, 3 times Zoe's stereo blasted on and the song Earth Angel came on, and she was sure that was my father telling her that I was his angel on earth. And anyway, so all this weird stuff was happening. I would drive down Foothill Boulevard where I spoke to my father every day. I called him as soon as I got out of Waltonia, which was a dead zone, and I got up to Foothill, I would call my dad. And when I was driving on Foothill for like a month after he passed, literally lights would shoot on my car in the middle of the daytime, and all this weird stuff was happening. And this owl was outside my window for like a week. And then about a year later, Carl Reiner was coming, or 2 years later, Carl Reiner was coming to read in my living room. And the morning that Carl Reiner was coming, the owl was outside my window again. And I thought, oh, you know, my dad would have loved this so much to have been in my living room for Carl Reiner. He's letting me know that he's here. And on a few other milestones for women who write, when I'd have amazing guests, or when my book dropped, I would hear that owl. And I haven't heard the owl in a long time. And then Snuffy and I moved into this house 3.5 years ago. And we had this owl. Like 2 years ago, this owl built a nest in the back of our and we would hear this owl all the time. And then finally I saw the owl. He came up here and I wasn't scared at all. I knew it was my dad watching over me. And there was a nest with owl eggs in it. And we had torrential rains 2 years ago. And Marta found the little baby owls had cracked out of their shells, and they were on the ground and they were dead. And the owl's nest was washed away and the owl was gone. And I felt like I lost my dad again when that owl was gone. Well, the night before my surgery, Rufus and I were sitting in the living room, and I swear, oh my God, woo, woo, unmistakable owl outside in the front of our house. It gives me goosebumps even thinking about it. It was so thrilling because I knew my father was watching over me. And when I came home from the hospital, the very first day, the owl was out there again. And those are like God shots that, so I know my dad's with me. I know he was watching over me for the surgery and when I came home. And I do believe in miracles, and I believe in all of that stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to share that. It was really amazing. Thank you, Pia. So kind. Anyway, I love you all. I'm so grateful that you're in my life, and I love having you guys close, and I just appreciate you. Thanks so, oh, Snuffy did find a way to send me some stars. Thank you, Snuffy, who's sitting now over here, I think. Anyway, good night to all. I will see you on Wednesday for Game Changers. Stay healthy, stay happy, or get healthy and get happy, and I'll try to do in kind. See you Wednesday, everybody. Thanks. Good night.